You're watching News Epicenter with me, Marya, Shakil. After 3,500 kilometers and 145 days, the grand old party's Bharat Jodo Yatra has come to an end. The finale included a flag hoisting at the Congress party headquarters in Srinagar by Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, the man spearheading the Yatra, and Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge. There was also a mega rally, which was earlier projected as a show of strength ahead of the 2024 general elections. But out of 21 opposition parties invited for the finale, only the DMK, NCP, PDP, Left and NC were present. The BJP hit out at Rahul Gandhi, calling the Yatra a non-starter on the road to 2024. The BJP also highlighted that the abrogation of Article 370, which the Congress opposed, was the real Bharat Jodo mission as it united the new union territory with the Indian constitution. But one cannot deny that there has been a shift in the image of Rahul Gandhi, who was once seen as a reluctant politician. In this political campaign, despite the controversies, he has not parachuted in and out, but has maintained a momentum and narrative against the BJP. But the question remains, can the Yatra be converted into votes and boost Congress workers to take on the well-oiled election machine of the BJP? 2023 will see 9 state elections on the road to 2024. Can this Yatra deliver electorally beyond optics?
जो विचारधारा इस देश की नींव को तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रही है, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े हों, मिलकर खड़े हों, नफरत से नहीं, क्योंकि वो हमारा तरीका नहीं है, मोहब्बत से खड़े हों।
Joining me first on the show is our newsmaker, Sachin Pilot, senior Congress leader. Mr. Pilot, really appreciate your time. You had accompanied Rahul Gandhi for a significant stretch of this yatra. You understand that any political move will always be assessed on the basis of electoral victories. And if this doesn't really translate into electoral gains for the Congress, then its very purpose will be questioned. So my question to you is, what has this yatra really achieved?
Two things. One, the Yatra, when it started on September 7th last year, it was very clearly stated that this Yatra is not specifically meant to garner votes. This was meant to highlight the burning issues of our times, the fact that there is acrimony in our society, the issues of unemployment, price rise, farmers' distress is all that is bothering every single citizen. And I think what Mr. Gandhi through this Yatra has done is tried to unite all sections of society. And also people were not sure if the Congress's efforts and the Yatra's efforts would bear fruit in the northern part of India, because they said that South India it might do well. But as you saw, time went on and lakhs of people, I mean, the reception was overwhelming in every state. So the objective of the entire Yatra was to send a message to one and all that besides ideological divides, besides political differences, the country must come and stand together and face those very disturbing issues that are bothering all of us. In that regard, I have to say, despite our most severe critics, sneering at the Yatra on September 7th, today have reconciled with the fact that people have taken notice, people have given empathy and support to this effort. It is a humongous effort to walk 4,000 kilometers non-stop across this country. It hasn't been done in the last 70 years by any major political leader in this way that has been done. Okay. So it's an effort to unite. To, of course, the political dividends of this will come later when the party workers and cadres try and take this message, which we will in the next 2 months, to different parts of our country. Okay. But the Yatra in its objective was to be a unifying effort led by Mr. Gandhi and Congress and even non-Congress people, many NGOs, farmers, civil activists, everybody joined in this effort.
Mr. Pilot, one of the unifying message that the Congress certainly wanted to send today was that it has emerged as the fulcrum of opposition unity, because during the course of the Yatra, several leaders joined Rahul Gandhi when the Yatra was crossing those states. But today, out of 21 parties that were invited, we saw a presence of only a handful of 4 or 5. Don't you see that as a setback? That yes, it may be about Rahul Gandhi's image makeover, but when it comes to the Congress party's larger role in opposition space, most of these parties are still not convinced.
I think it's unfair to do a head count and then determine what will happen in the future course. You see, democracy, as you know, Marya, is all about numbers. And we don't have to say or do anything to make a point that pan-India, it is the Congress party that can take on the ND and the BJP. So all of our allies in the states have their own significant presence and their weightage and importance. But as the political landscape shifts towards the Lok Sabha election of 24, you will see much more realignment. And I say this with all humility, that the pivot and fulcrum of a strong opposition has to lie with the party that has the bandwidth, the strength and the presence to take on, like you keep saying, a well-oiled machinery of the BJP. So everyone is along with us today because of various commitments, because of snowstorms, etc. To give a head count and then make that the logical conclusion of what the opposition numbers will look like, I think it's not fair. But the Congress has always been and will be the central piece of the UPA, and moving forward, we'll all work with our allies and partners across the country.
Okay, but Mr. Pilot, the question is also that yes, the message may have been about electoral, the larger message of unification, but it is about electoral victories. Let's not forget that any policy that the government implements or any experiment that is done by a political party, the biggest validation is electoral success. My question then is that will this period of break, because you'll be starting another yatra from Silchar, that period be used for campaigning? Because there are 9 states that are going to polls, and in a number of these states, it's a direct fight between the Congress and the BJP.
Most certainly. And I take your point that as political parties, our job is to go to the people, prove and convince them that we are the best ones to serve you, and then people will just decide who they vote for. In that regard, we had 2 elections during the course of the Yatra, Himachal and Gujarat. Of course, we didn't do well in Gujarat, but we won Himachal Pradesh, a North Indian state where people thought that the BJP cannot be defeated in a North Indian Hindi-speaking state. We did that, and with a solid margin. So next year, this coming year, has 8 states going to polls, and I'm sure that the effect of this, it wasn't meant to be a vote-catching exercise, but the fallout and the collateral benefit of this yatra will certainly be garnered by our party workers right from the village, panchayat, block and district levels. We've already had a very detailed discussion of how to take this message forward. So political activity will carry on. But this isolated Path Yatra, this yatra that we announced in Udaipur by then Congress President Sonia Gandhi ji, was that we'll take this yatra to get everyone together, because there is a lot of stuff that's going on in our society which does not get reported. There's not enough people listening with empathy and compassion. And Mr. Gandhi and all of us walked together to prove that point. And the way that in BJP ruled states, the amount of support that the yatra got was overwhelming. It may not have got the coverage in the media like it's getting today, but on the ground, the effects, the emotions, the connectivity, the outreach, the public participation, the mass contact, I think it has a very, very solid effect on people's perception of how they see leaders and political parties.
Mr. Pilot, Anurag Thakur, BJP leader and INB minister, put out a series of tweets, particularly in the context of what happened today. And he has to say that 20 जनवरी 2011 को मनमोहन सिंह जी ने कहा अनुराग ठाकुर को लाल चौक जाकर तिरंगा नहीं फहराना चाहिए, क्षेत्र में माहौल खराब हो सकता है, जिम्मेदार कौन? And he is then making the point that post the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, the situation in Jammu and Kashmir has changed so much that it has become conducive for this kind of yatra. So will you be giving credit to Prime Minister Modi and the current government at the center that this was a welcomed move, a much needed move of unification of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India?
Who are you and I to speak? Why don't you speak to the people who live in the state, or in the Union Territory? People who are suffering the daily trials and tribulations of existence. So we can say, yes, number of tourist flights may have increased, but what is happening in the societal impact that Kashmir and Jammu have had? Why are people in Leh and Ladakh, known people sitting on hunger fast for 5 days? Why are there targeted killings in the valley? Why are Hindus, Pandits still not being rehabilitated? Why are there bomb blasts going on everywhere? So I think one is to have a propaganda, other is to be realistic. Now, the way they acted on 370 other issues was completely non-democratic. People under house arrest. I mean, if whatever majority you have, you must put it to good use. Now, to take credit for everything, including the brave Bharat Yatris who walked from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, if that credit the BJP wants to take, sure, they can take it, no problem. But
Okay.
who did the hard work? Who actually walked those miles and who actually connected the people? One is to do your one-way radio chats and your Twitters and social media. Other is to be on the ground. And people have said previously that the Congress party was not seen on the ground that much. That has changed for last 150 odd days. Every single worker that I know, I had the chance to walk in a few states, and I saw what it was in South India, in the middle part of India, in northern states. There is tremendous traction for people who put effort, right? This was done not with a self-serving purpose of proving something or to ask for votes or to cash in on a sentiment of some religious festivity or some other issue. It was done to connect it well. Listen to people, hear them out, sit with them, empathize with them, share their concerns, and promise to fight together unitedly.
Okay.
That was the message of the Yatra.
Okay.
And that is undeniably now in front and center of what people are thinking and talking about.
My last question to you, Mr. Pilot. Yes, Yatra, as far as the optics are concerned, have went for the Congress. But what about teething organizational challenges? We are seeing what is happening in the state of Rajasthan. You are expecting a particular solution to happen perhaps before the elections, which will happen towards the year end. Are you hoping that those organizational questions are also answered by Rahul Gandhi now? Or Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge?
So Mr. Kharge is now a newly elected Congress president. Whatever issues anybody has in any part of the country, organizationally that will be tackled, because our primary objective in all of us is to win elections. And you said in the beginning of this program that every political party has to prove its mettle by going to the people and winning their mandate. So we're focused on doing that. We have important states going to polls end of the year and middle of the year. And I'm sure we'll work it out in such a way that we're able to win back people's confidence on the EVM machines. That's what matters. And we are very confident about it.
Thank you so much, Sachin Pilot. Always a pleasure.